Martin to break.
So our referee is Tatiana Wollaston. And it's Ian Martin who gets to break off. Hasn't officially got a tour card, Dave, but he was 9th on the Q School Order of Merit as he breaks off and goes to the incorrect side of the blue, which wasn't a good sign. But 9th on the Q School Order of Merit, he should get into a fair amount of tournaments.
1.
Yeah, we'll see as the season goes on, but it's a bit of a into the lion's den in this group, isn't it? You know, he's up against 3 ranking event winners, Jimmy Robertson, Thepchaiya-Nooh and Marco Fu, so it's a very, very tough group to come into, and already Thepchaiya has got going in frame 1 here.
6.
Looking like a 3-way fight for this group, but obviously this match is vital for Thepchaiya because Jimmy Robertson won 3-0 against Ian Martin, so I'm sure Nooh is looking to match that. He plays the last match, of course, against Robertson tonight. Marco Fu still in the mix, of course, after the draw.
Yeah, the Lions Den, I think that's a good way of putting it. It's one of the tougher groups we've had. And in fact, I think overall today, even on table 2, that group is uncompromising also. Overall, I think perhaps the best day for the quality of all of the players combined.
Hard to believe that Thepchaiya-Nooh nearly dropped off the tour last season. Plummeted down the rankings, points coming off. Of course, was one of the issues from the T.Ya system, but anyway, stayed on, and you expect him to rise up the list again. Of course, he qualified for the Crucible. Gave John Higgins
30.
a bit of a match in round 1.
We've just had Wimbledon, and I suppose if you want to draw a tennis analogy with Thepchaiya, he's like one of those players capable of winning inspirational rallies and doing wonderful things, and then putting a
38.
a simple forehand into the net.
Well, he didn't hang around in that Marco Fu match. His average shot time is 15.5 seconds. So that's seriously quick. Not that that guarantees you anything, but that's how he plays. Of course, he won that shootout. There was no sign of any concern about the shot clock. Well, be concerned about that. He didn't intend to catch that red. So that's a mistake.
46.
Very good recovery, though.
47.
Just took a moment there, focused on the pot, and back in business. And already he's up to 54.
54.
Now the plant, yeah, he's taking a look at that for future reference. Seems on to me.
$55.
Not his best, far from it. Okay, he's on the black, but look where the cue ball is.
Thepchaiya-Nooh, 55.
Yeah, so it was a swift effort, that, but it has come to an end at 55.
One.
Back positional shot onto the black, and then a very surprising miss. Oh. But if Martin continues to play like this match will be over in double quick time.
Yeah, he's confused about that. Of course, he had that chance in the first frame against Jimmy Robertson, who also actually made a 55 break against him and was clearing up nicely, missed the green. And that was the start of his woes in that match, and things have not improved here. He's let Thepchaiya off the hook in a big way, actually. He needs another red, and it should be 1-0 to him.
Seven. Eight.
That was frame ball. This is insurance.
Fourteen. Fifteen. 20. 21.
So reminiscent of the most renowned speedster from the 80s and 90s, Tony Drago. When he's flowing, he makes the game look crazily easy.
27.
But at any moment he could
28.
make a mistake.
$34. Thepchaiya-Nooh.
There's that
34.
mistake I was
And
telling
He's
you
really
about. Struggling, and if he continues to do so, they'll be shaking hands sharpish. Now that's more like it. That was a quality shot.
Yes, I mean, there's no rhyme or reason to it, really, is there? Because he missed that dolly red, didn't he, to the left corner earlier? But that red, far more difficult he strokes in, and that's a sign of what a good player he is. I guess one of the issues for someone like Ian Martin is, of course, he has a full-time job,
6.
runs his own business, so that doesn't leave a lot of time to practice. He's not a 20-something, maybe has the opportunity to do that. So opportunities like this to play in these sort of tournaments can only be a positive.
7.
That's gone wrong, but the very fact he's here today playing these top players can only be good experience for him. Of course, he had that good run in the shootout in 2021, got to the last 16 there. I know he really loved that.
Blue ball.
He's back here at the Morningside Arena on Saturday, actually. Takes on Chang Bingyu in the European Masters qualifiers.
Of it, and that's why
Ian Martin.
given Thepchaiya-Nooh this chance.
1.
Sort of doing that thing where he sort of can't bear to watch from his seat. Thepchaiya, of course, he had got in the 16. He was played in the Masters. He got up to number 15, but it was a sort of perfect storm. Firstly,
7.
he wasn't winning matches. That's the main thing. But then he had big points coming off. He'd been in a big final in China, so on the 2-year system that came off. He'd already lost the shootout points as well, and started cascading down the ranking list.
8.
And, well, it's great that he stayed on. I mean, you wouldn't want to lose him from the tour, but it just shows it can happen to anyone if you get on a bad run.
Yes, and the way the circuit is, if you do well at the World Championship, it can paper over some cracks.
14. 15.
Well, Thai snooker's on the up, isn't it? Because, of course, there's Thepchaiya, there's Nopan Senkam, who got to the second round at the Crucible. Deshawat Poomjang's got his tour card back. We've not yet to see him. And, of course, the Women's World Champion,
22.
Thepchaiya, who we've already seen in this event. He's also on tour. And the Six Reds World Championship will be back in Bangkok in September.
23.
Yes, you're looking at a former winner. Captured the title in 2015 and was runner-up to Mark Williams in 2017.
Yes, and James Watanabe, the man who kind of started
29.
it all, he recently won gold medal at the Southeast Asian Games for snooker, so he's still playing. Not on the main
30.
tour anymore, but still playing, still representing Thailand.
I've never commentated on Six Reds,
37.
Dave. Must be quite a
30.
challenge, because you got a lot of very tight frames. The highest break isn't 147, of course, it's 75.
Well, it can be very quick. Actually, it can
45.
be over quickly, because obviously once those reds
46.
are broken in the first shot, they can all be on, they can all be possible. But it can also get very nervy, as you say. It's never sort of caught on in a big way. Obviously, we have the World Championship in Thailand, but you know, when it came along initially about a decade ago, there was sort of talk
53.
about could threaten the traditional game. Never happened. But equally, there's nothing wrong with having
54.
one event a year. It is quite popular, I think, in Asia. Well, there's 5 reds on here, and Thepchaiya-Nooh
60.
only needs one of them with a big colour, and he's 2-0 up.
61. $68. 69.
One snooker,
One.
which yields a free ball. Could be enough, and after that kiss off the green, it was imperative he dropped nicely on a high value colour, and he's done so.
Yes, I mean, realistically, he's unlikely to win
8.
the frame, but I think he's also looking for table time. Nothing wrong with that one, was there? Terrific pot. So, going to leave the last red on the table.
.35 on. Now, if Nooh does miss the red here and leaves a free ball, with that free ball plus black, then red, black and all the colours, Martin could force a respotted black.
Well, this shouldn't be a free ball, should it? Even if he misses it.
Foul.
But I tell you
Ian
what,
Martin 5. Free ball.
it's incredible, really. I mean, there's so much space there not to leave the free ball.
I was saying that for purposes of information, Dave, without any...
Laying down for the black. It might have to be pink now. But even so, this frame feels a bit closer.
1.
pink, it's one snooker needed. If he takes the black, obviously you've got to get it, then he can still tie the frame.
He was like something from Game of Thrones.
Get a chance to maybe see them detail shortly.
1.
Yeah, not crocodile shoes, are they? More Stegosaurus.
Well, they're certainly distinctive. It's interesting, people talk about the dress code a lot, but actually, well, he's not on the red, that's the first thing to say. I was going to say,
8.
players, even within restrictions for various tournaments, have an opportunity to be a bit more distinctive in their choices, working within the rules. So you hear them complain about the dress code sometimes, but they have a choice to be a bit more individualistic.
Thepchaiya-Nooh,
Still
8.
tried to pop that. He couldn't quite accept he wasn't on it properly, so he set up an immediate scoring visit here for Ian Martin.
Well, that was a classic example of someone who was hoping the red could go, when really he knew it wouldn't.
1.
Pushing out the boat, not advisable. Can't tell you, by the way, Mitchell Mann and Matthew Stevens, they've just drawn 2-2 over on table 2. So the first 2 matches
Ian
in
Martin,
Group 21 have resulted in draws. Can't imagine this one's going to, the way Martin continues to err.
Yeah, he's a little embarrassed maybe that he's not producing the form he obviously can produce.
1.
But as I was saying in the first match, you know, these are very different conditions to what he's used to, and also there's a lot of attention on him going out live around the world. It looks like Thepchaiya will probably get enough chances
8.
to win this match. Having said that, he's going to be opening reds up here, playing this one. Yeah, and so kind of had to get that. You know, he's not guaranteed to win 3-0, and of course if it ends 3-1, for example, then that lost frame could really be costly. Just a little bit slapdash at times from Thepchaiya-Nooh today.
One. Eight. Ian Martin, 8.
He's a fine player, Ian Martin. If you saw him down at his local club, he would be unrecognisable to this. Of course, on the TV table, against a world-class opponent, under, as Dave said, heavy scrutiny. It's all very different.
Yeah, and I think once you start making sort of basic errors, you know, you're maybe not in the right mindset. You can see in the background there, he's not a happy chappy.
5.
Yeah, 2 draws on the other table, so, you know, if that pattern continues, then the high breaks may well come into it. Mitchell Mann made an 80 against Matthew Stevens, so obviously that's
12.
put him in the driving seat over Matthew.
13.
Stephen Maguire's made an 87. So he's top at the moment. Very early days still, but worth following that.
Let it just flick off.
1.
Well, it's a great red, isn't it? And like you say, definite scoring opportunity. So Thepchaiya-Nooh, maybe he's not been as clinical as he could be. And like I say, if he loses this frame, even if he wins the match ultimately, it could be very costly on the countback. Because, of course, he's already drawn a match. Jimmy Robertson beat Ian Martin 3-0.
8. Nine. Ian Martin 9.
No excuse. That was just elementary.
I think that's the worst thing today, isn't it? He's landed in a very tough group, but he's had a lot of chances. If he was just outplayed by these guys, then that's something you can accept. But what will annoy him is he's had the chances, he's had the openings, and not been making very much from them. So very frustrating for him. But delight for Thepchaiya. Maybe this is the visit he needs now to get this one. There again, he's sort of finished nowhere there, just betwixt and between.
7.
So it's.
1.
He may just have made his mind up to go for this. Oh, well done. That was a big shot, wasn't it? Probably end the match had he missed that. But I think by now he's just decided, as I say, to go for it.
4. 5.
If the blue will go, that will be his
Blue
colour
ball.
of choice. Yes, he can swing the cue ball in and out of balk here.
Ten. Ian Martin 10.
It was going to be what they've used, an ordeal.
1.
And still, Thepchaiya-Nooh has difficulties with the positional aspect of the game. After that, though, Dave, I think the end could be nigh.
6.
Well, it should be. I mean, it's not been the smoothest passage, but as I say, he's just had enough chances. But he's got a
7.
big match coming up later on, of course, against Jimmy Robertson. Now, a lot can happen before then. Robertson's got to play Marco Fu. Fu's got to play Ian Martin. It's a three-way fight in this group for top spot, and every frame will count. So, really important he puts this away now and wins 3-0. And the ping's not in. He's sort of crawling towards the line, but he's not over it yet.
So often we see one visit snooker. This is one mistake after the next snooker.
One. 7.
The black was the only awkward ball on the table.
12.
Well, this could be really big in the overall group standings if he can take this frame. Apart from anything else, you know,
16.
Thepchaiya hasn't won the match yet. He could end up 2 each. That would be a disastrous result for him, actually.
$21.
Slightly overrun here. Still needs pink and black. He's a tall guy, though, isn't he? Even so, he does need the rest. And what about this?
27.
I mean, how many chances did T.Un-Nooh have, Phil, to win this match 3-0?
I think it's, as I said before, a microcosm of his career.
34 in the frame.
Thepchaiya
But
lost that
3-1.
frame because he was
Remember,
so...
Jimmy Robertson won 3-0 against Ian Martin. He's still on the back foot, but he needs to win.
1.
And he would still have a chance, of course, of winning this group. He's one of those players, you can see why he's so popular, actually, because it's a bit of a roller coaster, isn't it, following him? Not dull, certainly.
8. 9.
And Dave, as you will know, he makes a habit of putting together maximums.
Well, for a while he made a habit of missing the last black, but thankfully he's made some since then.
16.
Yeah, UK final. Missed the last black, and then later that season the World Qualifiers. Now Matthew Stevens looking good
17.
next door, frame 1 against Si Hui. Just broken down there on 81, but has won the first. Two matches have both been drawn there.
$24. Thepchaiya, 24.
Now, that wasn't a gimme, but it's the kind of pot you expect him to knock in. Of course, he was chasing the black. That was the issue.
One. Three. Four.
The red just about creeps in, and now ideal on the black. Tell you what, Jimmy Robertson will be watching this with interest, because if it is a 2-all draw, when the next session begins at 5 o'clock, Robertson's first into action against Marco Fu, and a win for Robertson
11.
in that match would see him top the group with a match to spare.
$12.
Yeah, and that would be extraordinary, actually, wouldn't it? When you consider at the start of the day, I think everyone agreed, there were 3 strong candidates to win the group. Marco Fu by no means out of this yet himself. Meanwhile, he's left this awkward now. Cue ball close to the side cushion. But rolled it in nicely. It was a good little clearance he made in the last frame, because all sorts of things had gone wrong before then, and that'll just...
1.
Yeah, it's been really intriguing so far, actually. We've had upsets, some big names going out, some excellent snooker played.
A lot of the players who we've spoken to have said they feel this is an ideal first event of the season.
6.
Get 3 matches. It's one thing, so you don't just play and if you get beat you go home. You got have action all day, and they're sort of easing their way back into the season. Got qualifiers
7.
coming up at the weekend, and then from sort of September time the tournaments come more regularly.
Eleven.
Now, that really was world class. Not just spotting the red, which was a tough assignment in itself, but at that pace. Look at the position on the black.
Nineteen. Thepchaiya, 19.
Well, he's absolutely determined to get the match won now, so he's prepared to wait for another chance. Hang on. Ooh. He and Nobin Sengam, they didn't fare so well in the pool, did they, the World Cup?
Well, they were appalling. Nopon came off the table afterwards, big smile on his face, as he normally has, just shaking his head and saying, it's like an ice rink. It was in the sense that they slipped up quite a few times.
Yeah, I think...
Devour to do, because he's left the lone out in red.
1.
That was beautifully
6.
timed.
7.
Yeah, this looks like the end now. He needs another red after the black. It's not been plain sailing. He had a lot of chances to win 3-0, and losing one frame here
14.
has put a serious dent in his chances of winning the group. But he's by no means out of it yet. He's got, of course, the match with Jimmy Robertson later, and by
15.
that point he will know exactly how this group stands. But it looks like he's going to have to win that match pretty clearly.
$22. 23.
Yes, after the first session, these two, well, they've gone in opposite directions. T.Un-Nooh will top the table.
30.
Ian Martin will sit at the foot of it.
31.
Well, do stay with us, because after this match we'll be going to table 2 to watch Matthew Stevens and see Jia Hui. So the
37.
action continues.
39. 42.
So breaks of 55, 69 and 42 unfinished. Make that 46.
46.
So on the face of it, not bad, but he really does need to tighten up. Stand a chance against Robertson.
51. Foul. Ian Martin 6. Thepchaiya 51. Frame
After his
in the match.
3-0 defeat by